Slovakia Chronicles, a podcast of information, news and much more of our beloved Slovakia. By Andrea Paolo Mazzucchetti. It's me! Let's start! Hello everyone, welcome to the 30th episode of the Slovakia Chronicles podcast. After the second mass test session of the previous weekend, we have in Slovakia a situation of apparent calm, where everything is suspended in time, waiting for new decision from the government. In this episode, I would like to describe the actual situation after testing and how the government is acting to solve this uncertain period that we have in front of us. We have still 6 weeks to winter holidays, and as everybody knows, is a critical period, especially for the economy. So it's important to act fast and well, possibly. But let's start from the beginning. After the 2-round tests already performed, on 31st October and 1st November and 7th-8th November, a third edition of the rapid COVID test will take place on the weekend of the 21st-22nd November. But only for municipalities in which more than 1% of those who tested positive for the antigen test. There are about 500 municipalities in 5 cities. Therefore, it will not be a campaign on an entire district or the entire country as happened in the previous sessions. Given the recent large increase in infection and the amount of work required for contact tracing, the contact tracing capabilities of coronavirus positive people have been reinforced with the deployment of hundreds of soldiers. The Ministry of Interior has given a mandate to the fire brigade to make available from the 9th of November a certain number of sampling points for antigen tests of the inhabitants of the Green District. These points are mainly located at the fire station of the District Directorate of the Fire Department and the Rescue Services, and the tests are performed by firefighters who have the experience in the past session of mass testing. The testing points are open every day from 12 to 20 until further notice. The Ministry of Health has also made this possible to carry out free antigen tests in Green Districts, including at various hospitals. It's recommended to do an antigen test especially for those who experience symptoms of respiratory diseases. The provisional list of collection points for free voluntary tests, which currently includes about 40 locations through Slovakia, is available on the website of the Ministry of Health. This unclear situation, by the way, has an impact in all society. In fact, from a recent survey carried out by MS Force Agency, more than 35% of Slovaks feel highly threatened by the COVID-19 pandemic. The share is similar to that in spring when the coronavirus broke out. Like in spring, men seem to be less cautious than women when it comes to the pandemic. However, as much as 72% of respondents are following the government measures. This might be a result of the fact that respondents who feel threatened by the virus are more willing to stick to the rules. To reply to this uncertainty, the government started to act to improve the situation. The first measure that they took was to prolong by 45 more days the national emergency. Originally, it was supposed to end on 14th of November, but will now last until the end of the year. On the other hand, the cabinet did not approve any change to the curfew. The central crisis staff wanted to apply one between the hours of 23 and 5 o'clock in the morning, with exception for those commuting to work or visiting the doctor. The current curfew will end on 14th of November. The curfew does not apply between 1 and 5, while people with a negative PCR test result from the recent mass testing are also exempt. After 14th of November, people will no longer be required to carry the certificate confirming their negative test result with them. The government can declare a national emergency if there are a danger to people's life and health. It cannot last longer than 90 days. A national emergency has been declared twice during the current coronavirus pandemic, once in spring and then in October. The state of emergency declared on March 12 is still in place. Not only the COVID-19 is threatening all of us in this period, but also there is another problem that will be more and more relevant in the future months, the seasonal flu. To also face this issue, that can create even more confusion in the population having similar symptoms of the coronavirus, Slovak scientists have come out with a way to distinguish between the flu and the COVID-19. The test produced by the Slovak company Multiplex DX, which distinguishes between COVID-19 and influenza, has now been registered with the State Institute of Drug Control. It uses a swab taken from the nose, and the kit is meant for use in a diagnostic laboratory with appropriate equipment, safety standards, and trained staff. The new production method will enable the transport of tests at room temperature, which should simplify the logistics, storage, and use of the test. Scientists pointed out that symptoms of COVID-19 and flu could be similar and may be hard to distinguish between these two diseases. The Health Ministry has recommended getting flu shot, especially for those people who are at risk group. However, the flu vaccination rate in Slovakia has been low in the previous years, and the pharmacies ordered the number of vaccines based on demand for the previous years. The Slovak Pharmacy Chamber reported that by the end of October, there were almost no vaccine left in the country. Its president, Ondrej Sukel, said that maybe vaccines from neighboring countries can be brought to the Slovak market. And what is doing the government to act against the COVID-19? Slovakia has ordered 2.44 million vaccine shots against the coronavirus. The vaccines will be for free, without additional payment and voluntarily. It also pointed out that the vaccine by Pfizer has undergone successful clinical testing, being 90% effective. Slovakia has ordered the vaccine via the European Union. So it seems that we have a plan, but still what will happen in the future, even in the next months, is still uncertain. But no worries, Slovakia Chronicles will be on your side to update you with the latest news. Just behave safely and follow the rules. We will manage somehow. Thank you for being part of the Slovakia Chronicles family and stay safe.